Yeah, so we've had some investors, especially the ones that are maybe first timer real estate investors are not necessarily experts on this concept. They've asked me, said, "Well, explain to me how this paper loss works, right? You're just building a great asset, and all of a sudden, I get this K1 on my tax return that shows this huge paper loss that I'm able to use. So, where does that come from? So, essentially, the IRS allows for those that are building assets to depreciate them. So, the concept is that you have a building and it has a usable life, right, in the eyes of the IRS, and so you're able to take a portion of that value and essentially depreciate it over time, right? Because everything has a shelf life, right? So that's the concept, right? And so it's really one of the best advantages for decades. People have been using this as a tool to invest in real estate because, in actuality, in most times, most cases, what happens is the real estate actually appreciates during the course of your hold period. Certainly, if you're building a building on a piece of land, you're creating value, and that's going to appreciate. Or if you're renovating an existing building and improving on it and adding value to it, and therefore able to to generate more revenues out of the building, that's going to appreciate. But even older buildings that we have done in the past, where we buy existing buildings and we have residents in there. I mean, those also have depreciation schedules that the IRS allows for us to take. So the beauty of it is that over time, these assets appreciate, but on your tax returns are actually depreciating them. And so within this Opportunity Zone program, that is all captured and accelerated because there's this concept of bonus depreciation that both Anthony's described, and then there's no recapture. So that's the beauty. If it's a non-opportunity zone project, you have to essentially uh, even up with the government, so to speak, right? You depreciated the asset, but all of a sudden you've sold the asset for a lot more than what you've depreciated for in your book. So you gotta pay that delta on a capital gain, as Anthony had mentioned previously. But in the opportunity zone, you don't, and that's so powerful. That really drives the return.